Welcome to Success and Beauty Radio Show, where your dreams, your life, and your inspiration counts. Featuring your host, Charlotte Howard, award-winning hair artist, author, speaker, and beauty salon success mentor. Charlotte helps beauty salon professionals create an extraordinary career, business, and lifestyle using their God-given talents. Charlotte's guests will be sharing proven business, career, beauty, and lifestyle strategies to help you grow personally and professionally and put an end to your personal and professional struggles. And now, here's your host, Charlotte Howard.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on Success and Beauty Radio Show. We have so many amazing guests coming on Success and Beauty Radio Show and our entire Bold radio station. So stay tuned for more. Now, this year and every year since the year 2000, it has been my mission to help beauty experts create an extraordinary career, business, and lifestyle. And I'm in the process of looking for entrepreneurial women beauty expert co-authors for my new book collaboration project, Success in Beauty, which will be launching May 5th of this year. This is a great way to collaborate with like-minded beauty experts, be an inspiration, help put an end to beauty experts struggling in the industry, and help you gain more visibility and profits. If you're interested, visit www.thehairartistassociation.org and click on Contact, and we will respond to you shortly. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, my special guest today is Michele Nidifer, and Michele is on a mission to help women discover how beautiful they really are. As a CEO of StyleFinder ID, she knows firsthand that you can be pleased with nothing if you are not pleased with yourself, and is committed to creating resources to educate and empower men and women to look and feel fabulous from the inside out. Michele has spent a lifetime being fascinated with personal style and cultivating a style of her own. She is a national speaker, author, and freelance writer. Michele lives with her husband and 4 children in Raleigh, North Carolina. Some of her favorite things include cooking, dark chocolate, statement jewelry, anything handcrafted, good conversation, and living life on purpose. So everyone, without further ado, please welcome Michele Nidifer. Are you there, Michele?
Yes. Hi, Charlotte. Thank you for the wonderful intro.
Thank you for being on with us tonight.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
So what inspired you, Michele, to start your company, StyleFinder ID?
Well, I'll be honest with you. We are actually in the middle of rebranding, and I have been the CEO and founder of OneChicMama.com for the past 5 years, and our new website is not yet up, so if you want to find out more about us, you can go to OneChicMama.com. But to be honest, it has been a lifelong journey, and I think a lot of it started back when I was about 6 years old. My mom sewed, and more specifically, she was a quilter. And because of that, she would have these big fabric scrap bags, just like a big trash bag filled with her beautiful quilting fabric scraps. And at 6 years old, I was playing with my Barbies. So I remember one day playing with my Barbies, looking at the fabric scrap bags, thinking, I wonder if I could make something for the Barbies. And so it began as, well, I really want to outfit my Barbies. I'm going to start sewing because I was inspired by my mother and not only her ability to sew, but also her personal sense of style. And I started making clothes for my Barbies, and they were not really like what you'd go and buy in the stores. I was mixing prints and patterns and doing crazy stuff. And I will say, I look back at that, and I remember even at that age thinking, wow, Barbie's got a really strange figure. It's not like anyone I've seen.
So you were starting the stage really, really at a young age then.
I was, and I remember, I clearly remember, I don't remember all the details, but I remember one day it hit me, I'm going to be a clothing designer. It was like this, divine message that I got. I was going to be a clothing designer. And so I took that as that's my path. That is what is laid out for me. That's what I'm going to do. But trying to convince my parents, who are very practical and pragmatic, well, I can actually earn a good living being a clothing designer. They weren't buying, or my dad wasn't buying it. My mom's always been my biggest supporter, and she's been wonderful. But fast forward years later, and I was a clothing designer for about 12 years. I designed a line of women's apparel, and it was a wonderful experience. I started out making custom wedding gowns, which is, I don't know if you know what goes into that, but it's not like just designing clothing for me. It's very custom. It's looking at someone's body type and their coloring and really understanding their personal style at a deep, deep level, which now that I know what I know now, it reminds me of those days, because this was really about honing in on what is the one wedding gown that's going to make you just light up. Mm-hmm. And I no longer do that. However, now as a style expert and image consultant, what I do is all about understanding primarily women. We have started working with men, which has been wonderful, but it's really about understanding what makes you light up, not just in your wedding gown, but in your everyday clothes. What's your face shape? What's your body type? What's your personal coloring? And how do you connect the dots to cultivate, is how I like to put it, to cultivate your unique signature style. And so it's been a passion. I mean, a true passion of mine since a very young age. And I wake up every day, it's gone to a whole new level, but I wake up every day just excited to feel that I can empower women and men to really connect with who they were truly meant to be.
Absolutely. That's amazing that you're stating, men and women, because, there are a lot of, different systems out there, but I want you to share with our listeners what makes StyleFinder ID unique from every other service out there and system out there.
Sure, absolutely. Well, it's interesting because I think in a lot of ways I did some training as an image consultant, but so much of what I've learned, and this is the same is true when I was a clothing designer, I'm very self-taught, and I am very passionate about what I do, and when I do something, I give it 1,000%. And so when I first began my image consultant career, I learned how to do color analysis and look at someone's body type and face shape, but I felt like there's something missing. And I realized after that, I don't have a mechanism to really talk about their personal style. And from my own personal experience, that is the number one driving force. What is my style? How does it differ from yours? What makes me stand out? What makes you stand out? What makes you light up because it's who you truly are? And in 2010, in 2009, I really started thinking about this hard and thought, there must be something I can create for my clients, because so many women came to me and they said, I don't know what my style is, or my style is all over the map, or I've lost it. I've lost my style after raising kids, raising a family. I have no idea anymore who I am. And it's my belief that everyone has a style. You just may have lost touch with it. And so I really started to notice patterns and started to notice people would say very similar things. I'm like, that tells me this, and I bet you like this, and I bet you would enjoy these kind of clothes. And so after seeing this and getting in so many women's closets and going shopping and seeing similar things over and over, I actually created our proprietary StyleFinder ID system. And basically, fundamentally what it is a personal style assessment. And that's where it starts. And it gives you 3 style words. My style words, I am dramatic, romantic, and whimsical.
I love that.
And I realized the day I remember coming up with it, I'm like, oh my God, this is me. And then it was so liberating for me to be able to, not to put a label on it, but just to really say, this is who I am at the core. and to embrace it. And I remember looking around my house thinking, it's not just how I dress, it's my clothes, it's my home, it's my artwork, it's maybe not the car I drive because I have 4 kids, that's more practical, but it's everything you do. And to really embrace that for me, because style is something that it's like I've always been on this quest to find my own personal style. And the day I figured that out, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. And so I slowly started using it with my clients, and I would hear them say, oh my gosh, that's me. That's who I am. Just see these ahas coming up. And people would tell me, and I still get emails today, they're like, thank you for giving me permission to be myself. And I thought, wow, this is powerful stuff. Because I think in so many ways, and I'm sure you know this, Charlotte, the beauty industry, the fashion industry, we have so many messages working against us.
Oh, yes.
Telling us to compare ourselves, what we should be, what we shouldn't be. And my whole philosophy is be who you are. Be who God created you to be, and be all of it. And don't just stop at where you think you are, but just, take it to a whole new level and go as deep with your personal style. Because when you start to step into your personal style, what I've found for myself and with my clients, it's not just the clothes, it's who you become. Mm-hmm. It's stepping into yourself more fully and really embracing, like, yeah, this is me, and owning it. And it's empowering. And I've seen some just amazing transformations. And I think for my own self, as I experience this, I'm like, yeah, this is just the confidence that comes with feeling like it is okay for me to walk into, a high-level meeting dressed the way that I want to be dressed, being who I was meant to be. And that's powerful.
Yes, it is. Very powerful.
Yeah. So that's,
do you think that makes a difference to your bottom line with the way that like a professional might dress or a mom might dress?
Absolutely. I think when you wake up, I work with so many women of whether they're stay-at-home moms, return to work moms, CEOs, women who are entrepreneurs, all over the map. But I see so many women who are afraid to be who they are. It's like they're afraid to show up in a way that is authentic, and so they wear what I call their shoulds. Well, I should wear a little black suit. Well, I should look like this because that's what people expect. And what happens when you wear your shoulds is, first of all, you are not honoring who you are. Mm-hmm. And when you wear your shoulds, you just don't feel good. You are not showing up in a powerful way. You are not showing up in a way that is authentic. Actually, it can undermine your credibility. And especially as an entrepreneur, if you show up and you're telling somebody, hey, I do nutrition coaching, and you don't look the part, there's a disconnect, and then there's that lack of trust. You're not going to get hired. Mm-hmm. People are going to go find somebody who looks the part. And so it really is a matter of, does your image match your message? Are you on brand? Or are you trying to be what you think everybody wants to see, but what you totally are not? And I found that it totally affects your bottom line. Because I have seen women, as they step into who they are and embrace it, their incomes have skyrocketed. They have been promoted. They have taken their businesses to the next level. They have taken their lives to the next level. And I think there's so much. It's not about the clothes. It is really about who you're stepping into and saying yes to, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. And when you can do that, that is powerful.
Yes, it is. And it's so many people, right now that are, like you said, afraid. They're afraid what other people will think about them and, based on what they wear. And so I can definitely understand where you're coming from. And I know that our listeners today can understand and relate as well.
Yes, it does make a difference. And I think I know I tell everybody, and mostly my clients, when what I talk about, chances are I've experienced it. So when I say something negative or say something about there's shoulds or something. I've been there. I've done that, and I know how it feels. And I know that when you wake up and you're wearing what you think you should wear, you're holding yourself small. And when you wake up and you hold yourself small, you're not going to be picking up the phone going, hey, who can I call today? Who can I make a difference for? How can I take this to the next level? But I tell you what, when I wake up and I'm like, ooh, I get to wear X, Y, and Z. And I actually got in my closet the other night and just had to straighten it up because I had been a little bit slack about putting things away. I spent 3 hours in there, or a couple hours in there. I was up till way past midnight. And the next day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have all these beautiful new clothes to wear. What do I get to wear today? And it feels to me like I have a new wardrobe. But when I wake up, I'm like, ooh, I get to wear this. I'm going to put this together in a whole new way. And then I put it on. I'm like, yeah, this just feels good. Then I go get my coffee at Starbucks, and I'm like, hey, maybe I should buy coffee for the person next to me. Hey, how can I reach out? How can I make a difference? Who can I call today? And it's like just so much more myself that and I tell people it's not about the clothes, but when you wake up and you put on clothing that liberates you, it truly liberates you to be who you are. It's like you just transcend your style and you step into who you were meant to be. And you're not worried about, oh, are my jeans too tight? Do I have a muffin top? I wish I had worn a different jacket. Does this color look right? Because on those days, and I have had plenty of those days, where you wake up and you're like, man, I should not have worn this dress today. You're focused inward. You're holding your energy in and you're small. Mm-hmm. And you're not about how can I make a difference for somebody else. You're like, don't look at me. Are you looking at me because my dress is too tight? Are you looking at me because I look uncomfortable? Because you do look uncomfortable. And when you look uncomfortable, you're like, I can't wait to get in the car and get home. And you're not out there living it. You're not making a difference. You're not being who you're meant to be. You're holding yourself small. So clothes are not the most important thing. But at the same time, when you wake up and you put on your clothes and they're right and they feel empowering, it's like stepping into a second skin. And when you can do that, you get dressed and then you forget about it. You focus on your family, your career, your life, your friends, your everything in front of you. You're not holding yourself back. And that's a powerful way to live your life.
It sure is. It does take, a lot of time to really, get a feel for your style, Michele. So can you share with us, are there any shortcuts?
Well, I would say the number one shortcut is ask yourself, how do I feel? How do I feel in this? How do I look in it? But more importantly, how do I feel? Because I tell my clients, the process I take them through, we talk about your personal colors, your face shape, your body type, your personal scale, your personal style. We map out your whole wardrobe strategy. But I tell my clients, you could theoretically, and I've had this happen before. I remember one dress I had, it was the right color for me. It was the right cut for me. It was, by the books, it was right for me, but I couldn't stand to wear it. And so it really is asking, how do I feel in this? Does it light me up and make me feel like $1 million? Am I going to be, getting out there and living my life? Or does it hold me back? Does it make me feel yucky? Does it make me feel guilty because I spent money on it and I should wear it? Or does it make me feel guilty because I'm not at the exact weight I want to be? So it really, ask yourself, how do I feel in this? And if you don't feel amazing, don't wear it. If you don't love it, don't wear it. And it may just not be the right day. Maybe you're getting ready to have your period and you're feeling bloated, and that's not the right thing. And that's fine. Come back to it a week later, see if it makes a difference. But maybe you're just at a phase in your life where you need to get rid of some things that are from a past life, past career. Maybe you've had a body change, a life change, a transition with a relationship or a job, and you really need to get clear on what's right for you right now. And I think when you can do that and say, how does this make me feel today? Not 5 years ago, not 10 years ago, not a week ago, but today. How does this make me feel? And if it makes you light up, and if it makes you want to take things to the next level and feel as if you're taking things to the next level, that is exactly where you want to be.
Absolutely, I agree. Now, are there a certain way for people to figure out which type of style is right for them?
Well, I take my clients through the whole process, and if anybody is interested in taking the StyleFinder ID assessment, that is the service that we offer. And they can reach out to me. They go to my website at onechicmama.com, and you can get more information, or you can send me an email. But I mean, that's the starting point from where I take clients, and especially if you don't know, if you spent the past few years taking care of everybody but yourself, you have no idea what your style is. And some people tell me, I have a closet filled with clothes, and one day it's this, and the next day it's something else, and it's just this mishmash of styles, and there's no clear style. That's the place where I start with my clients. Like, I worked with a client today, and her style was classic, natural, and sporty, and she's transitioning. She recently retired. She's transitioning from a successful corporate career, and she's trying to figure out, well, what does that mean now that I don't wear suits to work? How can I still look pulled together? And so I think, I told her, I said, this is a perfect time when you're going through a transition, or when you're taking your image to the next level. That's the perfect time to say, hey, what is my style? And because if you're going to take things to the next level, how do you know what's right for you? How do you know what really embodies who you are at the core? And certain people have, some people are just in touch with that and they have an innate sense. But if you've lost it, then, I invite you to come to the website, talk with me about this assessment and about what we offer beyond that, because it's really about understanding who you are. And when you get lost from that point, you need help to redirect. And so I like to help my clients. We create their personal image blueprint. We create a wardrobe strategy and really help them get on track. And it's been crazy to see all these ahas. And for me, that's my passion. I could do that all day long, and I love it. So I love to work with women to really help them see who they were created to be and see them light up when they get it. It's just so powerful.
So do you have any upcoming events that you want to share with our listeners today?
Well, to be honest, I don't have anything virtually, but I will say this. We've created a group on Facebook, and it's called Secrets of Style. I invite you all to go there and join in the conversation. We actually do a monthly free event that's here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it's free. It's open to the public. The only thing we ask is that people pre-register. And we just had our last one this past week. We have one coming up in February. So if you're in the Raleigh area, I would love to have you come. We're working on a way to make this virtual. And because I've had a lot of people have asked about that. But come to Secrets of Style and join in. I invite I'm really all about the conversation. I want to hear, what are your issues? What do you want to talk about? I'm posting pictures of, myself and my necklaces and my style tips. And really, it's just all about how can I help? Really sharing. I want to hear what you want to know. And if you have a tip, come there and share it as well.
And how can our listeners be able to connect with you for the event?
Well, they can go to Secrets of Style on Facebook, and if you click on events, you can see our next Secrets of Style Live is scheduled for February 20th, and I'm going to be talking about 5 ways you can look slimmer, or you can dress slimmer right now. And that's one thing. So many women tell me, I need to lose some weight. I'm like, we don't need it. That's a should. If it's a should. Yeah. Why do you really want it? Just because somebody else told you needed to. And part of my philosophy, or a big part of my philosophy, is dress for your body type. Huge part of my philosophy. And I see so many women who are making mistakes because they don't know. They don't know how to dress for their body type. And so I'm all about, my big thing is teaching and empowering, because when you know better, you do better. And then you show up as a more empowered person. But I see so many women, and it's not their fault. I think it's, honestly, I'm not one to blame, but if I were to blame anybody, I blame the fashion industry. Out there, I'm like, no, that's not right. But I think so many women they truly don't know how to dress for the body they're in right now. And a lot of people, they're going through menopause, or they've had babies, or something in their body's changed, and they don't understand how to dress it right now. And so I really want to share some tips on what can you do to visually take off 5 pounds? What can you do to visually take off 10 pounds? Because oftentimes it's not a whole image makeover, or it's not even losing weight. It's just a really small shift that can visually make you look like you've lost weight. And then you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is great. And that, I mean, I put on a pair of jeans the other day and they were a little bit big on me. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, that's a great feeling when you look in the mirror.
Yes.
My jeans are loose, or I look like I've lost 5 pounds. You're like, okay, I can take on the world.
I know, that's right.
Yeah, I think I'm all about giving women little small ways to feel good about themselves. There's so many things out there trying to bring us down. I want to give women ways to feel like, you've got it under control. You're on top of it, and you can do it. So to really celebrate who they are. So if you would like to find out more, go to Facebook and then just look up the Secrets of Style group. Ask to join. Would love to have you there. But click on the events page, and that's going to give you all the details to get signed up. And would love to have anybody in this area or out of the area come and join us.
Absolutely. And would you share with our listeners also your websites again?
Sure. Currently it's onechicmama.com, and I'll spell it. It's ONECHICMAMA.com. But it is going to be StyleFinder ID very soon. That's in the works, and we're about ready to launch it. We're just not quite there yet.
Absolutely. Well, can you share with our listeners some more tips on how they can actually enhance their image?
Absolutely. You know what? I think one thing that I have learned over the years, I started this career, well, just a quick little bit about me. I grew up with low self-esteem. I've struggled with my weight for many, many years, and grew up feeling like I'm not good enough, I'm too fat, I'm not pretty, I'm not blah, 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 blah. And for me, it was a slow chipping away of things and stepping into my power, but a tremendous shift occurred about 10 years ago after I gave birth to my daughter, and I gained 50 pounds with her. She was my first child, and I took that as a license to eat the entire sleeve of Girl Scout Thin Mints or whatever else I wanted to. And so I gained 50 pounds. I embraced it at the time, but you come home from the hospital and I had this beautiful baby, and I still had the weight. And I remember the first time I took a shower at home, getting ready to step into the shower and looking into the mirror thinking, oh my God, what is my body going to look like? And getting ready to say, you're too fat, look at that, how, just all the negative stuff. And there was a huge shift for me. And I call it divine intervention. But something shifted, and instead of saying anything negative about myself, I basically looked in the mirror and said, I am grateful that I gave birth to this beautiful baby, that I have arms to hold her with, that I have eyes to see. It just really was this flood of gratitude. And from there, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I had a daughter. I made a promise to myself, I am never, ever, ever going to say anything negative to myself again. Whether it's, it usually wasn't out loud. Usually it was just in my head. And so I made a shift. And the shift basically was to wake up every day and look in the mirror, and instead of saying something, oh my gosh, you're fat, you're this, whatever, what's great about me? What can I celebrate today? Does my hair look great? Does my skin look great? Did I do a great job with my makeup? Do my nails look good? Does my shoes, whatever, to find something positive to focus on. And I remember the first few days, it was like, I'm not going there. I'm going to focus on the positive. And it was a very intentional choice to do that. But after doing it for some time, it became a habit. And then I'd look in the mirror, I'm like, yeah, I'm looking great today. And just feeling good. And it wasn't from an ego perspective, but it was from a perspective of, okay, I'm no longer going to beat myself up, because I was not created to be held small. I was created to be beautiful. And as we all our women are. And it breaks my heart to see so many women holding themselves small and not embracing how beautiful they are. So the one quick, I mean, it is quick and it seems easy, but at the same time, it is powerful. Affirmations. When you wake up in the morning, look yourself in the eye and say, girlfriend, you got it going on. You are gorgeous. You are powerful. You are worthy. You are beautiful. Give yourself an affirmation. And it's interesting, every time I speak, especially when I do my Secrets of Style, we always end with affirmations. And I've realized, and people have told me, like, they don't say, nobody ever teaches them to say, hey, I'm beautiful. And I think a lot of women think it's not okay to say that. And the way I talk about it, again, it's not from a place of conceit or ego. It's from a place of, I'm beautiful. God created me to be beautiful, and he created you to be beautiful too. And so it's really embracing and honoring who we are. And when we can do that, then we can see somebody else and say, hey, girlfriend, you're looking beautiful today. And truly mean it, and not be like, man, that you know what, I'm not going to say it here, but you know what women say. How dare you? Who she thinks she is? And you start talking about somebody else because you see somebody else confident and you're not confident in yourself. But when you can be confident in who you are and feel great, and then you can look at somebody else and say, wow, you look gorgeous today, and really, really, really mean it, that's powerful. And that is the number one best thing anybody could do, and it takes 5 seconds, if that. Mm-hmm. So it's not about what you wear. I mean, it is about what you wear, but it starts within. And you could have on the most beautiful outfit, but if you're walking around feeling bad about yourself or feeling like you're better than everybody else, that does not work at all.
So what do you think, is the biggest reason for moms in particular to just let themselves, I say let themselves go as far as wanting to improve their image and their career and their lifestyle?
Well, I know from my own personal experience, especially with my first child, it was like, crazy lifestyle change. I went from being married and having a flexible schedule and able to do things when I wanted to, work around the clock, to all of a sudden I've got to adhere to somebody else's schedule. And then I'm too dog tired to, worry about what I'm wearing or eat right or exercise or take care of me. And I remember actually the whole reason One Chic Mama was even born is because I woke up one day and I thought, man, I feel so frumpy. I need a pedicure. My hair doesn't look good. I don't know what to wear. I don't know what makeup trends are hot. It's like I just felt totally disconnected from myself as well as from, what was hot. It's like I don't know who I am anymore. I'm just kind of going through the motions. And so I think that happens to a lot of moms, but a lot of moms stay there. And I think I actually read a newsletter on this. It went out today, but it was about really raising your standards. And I think there are a couple of things that go on with moms. I think first and foremost, I think a lot of moms put their children above them. And they pay tons of money for their children to have these beautiful clothes and be in the right classes and doing the right things. And I have heard this firsthand many, many times. Oh, my child is way better dressed than I am. And that breaks my heart. Mm-hmm. Because I think it's almost like your identity is through your child and you've lost yourself. And I've seen it. And, I've kind of been there at some point in my life. But I think when you can really reclaim your style and say, you know what, I have a child now, I'm a mother, I'm a work-at-home mom, whatever you are, redefine it. But think about this, though. As a mother, your child is looking at you and how you present yourself, how you feel about yourself, And I've heard stories about, girls who are 4, 5, 6 looking in the mirror and saying, my thighs are fat, or I'm too fat, because that's what they hear their moms say. And your kids they are modeling you, whatever you put out there. And I made a decision when I had my daughter, I'm like, if they hear me say anything that is going to be positive, if they do not hear me.
That makes all the difference, because it's like they see you, and then, it's like, if mom is, not keeping herself, the improved part of her, her self-esteem is going to reflect on them also.
Absolutely. And I think, when moms can step up and say, hey, I am a mother, but I'm also a woman, and I still matter, and I still want to feel beautiful for myself. I want to feel beautiful for my husband. I want to feel beautiful for my child. Because I think when you let yourself go and you get stuck in a rut, I see so many women and so many moms, and it makes me sad to feel this way, but so many women have just given up. It's like, and to look at them, you just feel like they have just completely given up. Like, I do not matter anymore. I just need to get up, feed my kids breakfast, get them to school. Who cares what I look like? Who cares if I've had a haircut? Who cares what I wear? And it breaks my heart, because you can just see that look of, I am powerless, I am not worthy. It is not a woman who comes across as, yeah, I am ready to just light the world on fire. It is like, yeah, I've given up, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to sit and feel bad about myself all day. Or I'm just going to clean the house, let everybody take advantage of me. And I'm being overly dramatic, yes, but I see that, and I'm like, I've been in that space before, and that is such a negative place to be. Because when you send the message to yourself that you don't matter, and the message to the world, that's just awful, in my opinion. I mean, that's judgmental. Yeah. But it's like, where do you go from there? But when you can take one step and say, okay, I do matter, and I do want to make a difference, it's not about wearing designer clothes. It's not about how much money you spend on your clothes. It is about your attitude. It is about waking up and saying, hey, I matter today. Whether I have 50 cents to spend on clothes at Goodwill or I have $500 to spend at Saks Fifth Avenue is irrelevant. It's about you taking the initiative to say, hey, I make a difference. And if it's for nobody else than my child, then I make a difference for my child. And by me stepping up and feeling worthy and feeling beautiful, I make a difference for them. And when you give that up, it's like giving away your power. And when you give away your power, what do you have left?
That's right. That's right. And I, by you, you have 4 children, and like you said, you can relate to some of the women out there that are currently working for themselves even. Some of them out there may be working as an employee in the corporate realm, but it's really important for you to really, how would you say it's important for you to really take time for yourself in addition to taking time for your family, also being in the industry as a professional woman?
Absolutely. And I think even more so being a professional woman, because you've got all the demands of your career, and if you come home and you haven't taken time for yourself and you're stressed out or you're just frazzled from a busy day and you bring that back to your family's not getting the best part of you. They're getting a mom who's stressed out and doesn't have patience for anything. And so I think when you take time to, wear clothes that make you feel great, and you go through your busy day and you're not stressed about that, and you go through your day and you come home and you take time for yourself, whether it's to get a massage or to stop and meditate for 5 minutes or go to Starbucks and have coffee, whatever it is that helps you to connect with yourself, then you're able to focus on your family. And I know that's true for me. And there's some days where it's like I just don't get the time that I feel I need. And then I feel like I'm going through the motions. And it can be very challenging to find that balance. But I think it's so important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I do see that you're an author. So can you share with us more about some of the work, your writings that you have already published?
Well, I have a book out. It's called Secrets of Style, and if you go to the website, you can see that on there. I also have a workbook that's called Look Fabulous for Less. And because, essentially my philosophy is you don't have to spend a lot of money to look good. It is not, in fact, I see women all the time who are wearing expensive designer clothing and they're not wearing it in the right way. So it's not about how much money you spend on your clothes, but it is about, it's about wearing the right thing for you. So, yes, I have those 2 books. I have a couple of other projects in the works that I really can't talk too much about yet, but there are definitely some other resources coming down the pipeline.
Well, what inspired you to write Look Fabulous for Less?
Well, I think just, so many women would come to me and they would say, hey, I don't have a lot of money to spend, but I want to look good. And my philosophy is it's not about how much money you spend. You could go to, I don't necessarily promote this, but you could go to Target and pick out a great outfit and spend, $40, or you could go to TJ Maxx and spend however much. It's not about the dollar amount. It's about knowing what your colors are, knowing how to dress your body type, knowing what your style is. And really, I think a big part of it is understanding how to build a wardrobe that's right for you. Honestly, I've gotten into quite a few closets of women, especially moms, and their bodies are changing and they don't want to spend a lot of money on clothes. And so they go to Old Navy, or they go somewhere that's, inexpensive. It's what I call fast fashion. Mm-hmm. And it's, the quality's not there, and they go and they buy their whole wardrobe and they think, okay, I've got these great clothes. But the problem with that is it's not built to last. And so they're not they're not building a wardrobe. They're filling a temporary need. And then, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months later, when the clothes have been washed and dried and they've shrunk, or they don't like them anymore, or they've pilled, or they just haven't held up, then they're like, oh my gosh, I have nothing to wear. Or conversely, people buy things on sale. I've seen a lot of people, actually this is probably one of the biggest compelling reasons, is so many women tell me, oh, I bought things on sale, and I get in so many closets and see things with the price tag still on. People say, oh, it was only $29.99, I had to have it, but it's still in their closet with the price tag on it. And people get sucked into that mindset of, well, I can only buy on sale, or I can only buy, at budget stores. And my whole philosophy is if you look at how much money you're actually spending on clothes, first of all, you're spending way more than you think you are. And second of all, you need to learn how to, if you're going to spend, I don't know, $2,000 or whatever your number is in a year, there is a better way to allocate it. And if you really learn, and I can't really I wish I had time to get into all these fundamentals, but if you learn how to fundamentally build a wardrobe, where do you invest and where do you go cheap? And there is a place to go cheap, but it's not with everything. And I think when people become afraid, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't spend $100 on a pair of pants. Well, you know what? If you spend $100 on the pair of pants and it's in your closet for 5 years and you wear them 100 times a year, you're getting your money's worth. That is the best investment you'll ever make. But if and I'm not even going to try to do the math as far as cost per wear, but if you go out and you buy a cheap pair of pants that kind of fit you, but some days they give you a muffin top and you don't really like them, and you wash them and they shrink, and you pay $49.99, you wear them 3 times and get rid of them, that's not a bargain. Mm-hmm. That is not a bargain. That's a waste. And I see far too many people doing that, and they don't think about the big picture. So I really wrote that to help people understand, where do I put my money to get the most bang for my buck? And I will tell you, I'm a big fan. Friday night, I took my 3 girls, I have 3 preteen girls. We went and had a little shopping trip at Forever 21 because they love that store, and they'd gotten some gift cards for Christmas. And I found a fabulous necklace for $7. And I wore it the other day, and I had like 30 compliments on it. People were like, oh my gosh, I love that necklace. I'm like, okay. I didn't tell everybody how much I paid for it. But I'm like, that's where you go cheap. Sure, I've got some nicer jewelry, but there are times where you just want to wear a $7 necklace.
Yeah.
And that is what you need to fill the gap between, take your winter wardrobe in the spring. That's what you need. But it's knowing, when do you wear that? You don't have your whole wardrobe filled with, the $7 stuff. But how do you put it together? How do you mix the high and the low? How do you build your wardrobe so you're not wasting money? So that was a very long answer to your question.
Oh, no, I love it. And, Forever 21, because I have a teenager and she loves Forever 21 too. And I grab some jewelry sometimes from there because I love jewelry. Being in the beauty industry, how it can be. So,
yes. Yeah, and just knowing where to go and how to fill in. Like in the beauty industry, all the industries, like there are places you want to invest and there are places where you can cut corners. And I think just knowing and really understanding, if I'm going to spend my money, do I spend it on a purse or do I spend it on a cute top that's trendy? Just really getting a feel for that. And so, fundamentally, I like to teach my clients to build a wardrobe and invest in those pieces you're going to wear over and over and over and go cheap on those trendy pieces. It's the trendy pieces you're only going to have for a season or two, so don't pay $300 for those. Pay $30 for those. And that way, when they're out of style, you're not going to feel bad about getting rid of it.
That makes a whole lot of sense. So in Look Fabulous Less, do you share with different places on where to go to get the actual different pieces for the wardrobe, or do you more so recommend the assessment for those that are tuning in also?
To be honest, I say the assessment that I created, I think for women, and honestly, I'm starting, for men too, that is the starting point. When you know that, then oh, okay, however much I'm going to spend, I know I need to go to Talbot's or I need to go to JCPenney, whatever. I tell people there is no judgment around that. It's just what's right for you and what's right for your style, what's right for your budget. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. But that's the starting point. And I think from there, that would be the best place to start. But the workbook really, I talk about stores. It's hard because I created that really to really help anybody in the world figure out how to put things together. So I named some stores by name, but really it's up to your interpretation. Where are the stores you're going to go where you're going to get the better quality? Where are the stores you're going to go where you're going to get the bargain? There is a time and a place for both, and it's really an understanding. It's more the fundamentals that I teach rather than here's where you want to go. And I do list some resources of online places to shop and online sample sales that I love because I've gotten some fabulous things for steals. And to be honest, I actually do a whole lot more online shopping now than I ever have, and I think it's just
Me too.
Part of it is necessity, but part of it is just I've become more comfortable, and especially when places have really good return policies, and I know I'm not going to be stuck. So I'm taking a lot more risk. Plus, I'm out there all the time looking at things, and I see all these things. I'm like, hey, I know I can't get that in Raleigh. I'm going to buy that right now. Yeah. But it's just really an understanding of where do you spend your money, and how can you make it work for you and not against you? Because I get into closets literally, and we toss hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of clothes. And the women are cringing. They're like, take it, but they're cringing. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I spent so much money on stuff that wasn't right for me. But so it's really, it's starting with the fundamentals, and that's understanding your style, your coloring, your body type. What's right for you? And if you don't know that, then you could be shopping all day and all night, and you may never, ever find the answer. So I like to start at the foundation, which is what I call the discovery phase. And that's gaining the understanding. That's creating your personal image blueprint and understanding who are you, what do you need to wear, how do you connect the dots, what's your strategy. And once you know that, then you can shop at TJ Maxx, Forever 21, Saks, Belk, Macy's. It doesn't matter because you're armed with the information that's going to tell you this is you, this is not you. Look for this, stay away from this. And when you know that, you can shop anywhere.
That makes sense. Now, can you share with our listeners more about the different types of styles type that you have clarified in your assessment when they
Sure.
take them?
Well, basically, what I've done with the assessment is my philosophy is our style is not unilateral. There is not one word that sums up anybody's style. And like my style, I'm dramatic, romantic, and whimsical. And so it's taking what's your primary style, but what's it tempered with? And the way I look at it is there has to be the yin and the yang. And so for me, the dramatic is my yang. And it's balanced with the romantic, which is my yin. And it's really looking at it from the 80-20 rule. Like the dramatic is my 80%, the romantic is my 20%. And some of the other words I use, classic, natural, sporty, delicate, just to name a few, but it's really understanding, I've distilled those down to what is most important. If you're classic, that means a lot of things to a lot of people. What's your secondary word? And what does that truly mean to you? What's your archetype? I've created archetypes with each of these. Like with my archetype, I'm the sensualist. And created style icons. And it's, looking at fabrics and textures and colors. And, I haven't really incorporated this yet, but I've had people asking me about fragrances and,
Oh, yes.
just taking it so deep. Because it's all about branding yourself. And when you can step into more of yourself and, all the different layers, fragrances, music, food, cars, how we do anything is how we do everything. And when it's congruent, it's powerful and it's consistent. And then we know we're like, this is who I am. I eat this. I don't eat this. And it's just really, it's uncovering more of who we are and feeling more confident in our skin. And so with the StyleFinder ID system, it's a real personal understanding of what your style is at the fundamental level. And then how you interpret that and embrace it from the inside out in a way that makes you feel more like yourself.
That makes a whole lot of sense because, the way that you've customized everything is suitable for, everyone with their personality more so and their lifestyle, just putting it all together. And I think that's really, really unique.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been powerful to create, and it's been so much, it's just so much fun. And I love when I get an email. I got an email the other day, and a client basically told me, thank you, you've given me permission to be who I am. And I'm like, that's the best compliment I could get, because it's not me trying to pigeonhole you or tell you what to wear. It's helping to uncover who you were created to be.
And that makes a whole lot of sense instead of pretending to be someone that you're not, right?
Absolutely. Because we all know that does not work.
So can you share with our listeners one more time how to connect with you?
Sure. Come find me. You can find me at onechicmama.com. You can also find me on Facebook at secretsofstyle.com, which is our community. And would love to chat with you, hear about what your questions are, what your issues are, or just reach out and let me know what you think.
Absolutely. And do you have any final words for our listeners today?
Yeah, I do, and that is to dress like you mean it.
Thank you so much, Michele, for that.
Thank you, Charlotte. It has been a true pleasure to be here with you tonight.
It's my pleasure to have you on, and I look forward to having you on again in the future, and I hope to see you in person.
Yes, we need to connect in person and do some shopping. That'd be great.
Yes, that'll be fun, and we can grab coffee.
I'll look forward to it.
Thank you.
Are you interested in appearing on Success and Beauty Radio Show? Do you have breaking news? Charlotte wants to hear from you. You can contact her at www.thehairartistassociation.org. We will see you next week, same day and time.